Good morning, everyone. I figured people would want to hear from me on this subject, the event that took place yesterday. I don't have an opinion yet on it. All I know is we're dealing with an adjudicated rapist, defamer, adjudicated scammer and fraudster in business, a compulsive liar, a person that can't help themselves but lie about the smallest detail and is always on the grift. Always. This is what I'm seeing people say about it. Do you hear me when I say this? This is what I hear people say about it. Not what I'm saying about it. And you know who I'm talking to when I say that. What I'm seeing most people say about it is it was fake. That's what most people are saying. I don't know if it's fake or not. That's not the point of this video. I'm seeing people use the phrase Reichstag fire. If you don't know what the Reichstag fire was, who was behind it, what it was used to accomplish, then you need to look it up. You need to ask somebody. I'm seeing that phrase being thrown around all over the place. The one problem I have, the biggest problem I have with the event, which makes me wonder about things, is after a presidential candidate was allegedly shot, and I'm hearing from the police and other sources that a bullet didn't hit the man. Glass from a teleprompter hit the man. I guess a bullet hit the teleprompter, sent glass in different directions. And from what I'm hearing, it was glass that cut the presidential candidate, not a bullet, even though his first statement he put out was that he got hit by a bullet. Everyone was speculating last night who this shooter could be. We had congressmen blame it on Joe Biden, literally on Twitter. Not irresponsible at all, right? Well, a sitting congressman did that, and others did that as well. Everyone couldn't wait to point the finger, especially on one side of politics. Here's the thing, though. The guy's name came out today. And it's a three-piece name. That always seems to be the way. Except for Sirhan, I guess. Something Matthew Crooks. I forget his first name. John, Joe, Jeff. I don't fucking know. Who cares? Again, we get the triple name. His last name is Crooks. Crooks. We find out he was a 20-year-old. This is what I'm seeing so far. It's a 20-year-old white male. Has kind of a survivalist type look to him from the pictures I've seen. He's dead up on a roof yards from the presidential candidate as he was speaking. I don't know how anyone got up on a roof if you have Secret Service. How that's even possible. Getting up on a roof while a presidential candidate or president is speaking anywhere remotely close by. That's the first place you would check or have people, have physical men there. If I were to design a protection plan for a president or an important figure, if I was in charge of that, I would have a man on every rooftop that's even remotely able to get an angle on that presidential candidate. I would have Secret Service, FBI, etc. on every rooftop. There would be a physical man or men there, just in case somebody tried some bullshit to get on a rooftop and shoot somebody. That's how I'd handle it. That's the first priority I would have as a security guy if I was in charge of that situation. No rooftop action. That's the first thing we cover. So that kind of makes me wonder. And this is the real thing that makes me wonder what this all really was yesterday. after the presidential candidate, after the shots rang out, after the Secret Service, these men that were around the candidate, collapsed onto the presidential candidate and got him to the ground so he was safe. There was no trajectory for a bullet to hit him. Once they did that and they had him down on the ground for a while, they allowed him to stand back up and put his fist in the air and yell a slogan or something to the crowd. A photo op, if you will. That's what bothers me about the event. That's the main thing that bothers me. Plus, the person involved, we know, is not trustworthy in any way, shape, or form. They're one of those people that lies to the point where, you know, they're the typical cliche, the sky is falling all the time. And then when the sky actually falls, no one believes them because they've lied so much. So we got to consider the entity we're dealing with. We have to consider what we saw. We have to consider what's being said. Despite all the accusations last night, despite everyone of a certain political persuasion couldn't wait to blame it on the opposite political party or the president, the current president. We saw all that yesterday before anyone knew anything. Now we find out again. Let me give the full description. We find out again. 20-year-old white male, Republican, with an AR-15. That's the information I'm seeing being put out as identifying this man that was behind this event. Something Matthew Crooks. If I were an FBI agent, when we're talking about mass shooters, that's the first demographic they look at. So I find it interesting that this shooter falls in the cliche demographic. That we all, you know, the AR-15 young white male right-winger. So we have two things that could have possibly taken place. One of them I think is very unlikely, but has possibly happened in history. Could it be a CIA type thing? The name Matthew Crooks. I doubt it. I don't think that's what it is. What we have on the surface, without digging under, is we have a MAGA trying to kill the leader of MAGA. Some opinions on why he may have tried this was to start a civil war of some sort. Even though he was in favor of that candidate, most likely, he thought by hurting that candidate or killing that candidate, it would spur on or be the catalyst for an agenda that person wants to see happen. That's what I'm hearing so far. Again, I may update you on the details, but that's what I'm hearing so far. But one more time, on the surface, what do we have? We have the cliche young white male with the cliche mass shooter type gun that everyone uses, trying to kill the head of the MAGA movement. One of their own people. That's what we have on the surface, as far as we know. Interesting. The whole thing was strange, you have to admit. There was a lot of strange things going on in that whole scenario that we witnessed yesterday. I still haven't fully formed my opinion on it. We all know what the right-wing cliche path would be on this one. Antifa did it. Joe Biden did it. Blah, 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 blah. Immediately. That's what they did. A lot of them. I didn't know who did it until the name came out. That's what I waited for. So I didn't jump on camera the second this happened. I wanted some details out first. And I don't want to judge it right away. But a lot of people are judging it. And the overwhelming majority of comments I'm seeing are it was fake. It's not me saying it. That's other people saying it. And they cite various reasons why they think it's fake. I don't know what to think yet. I'm just kind of looking at it. But I know what this entity is capable of. And again, the phrase Reichstag fire has been thrown around all night. You don't know what that is, you better ask somebody. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. So I'm reserving judgment at this moment, but I have to admit the whole thing's very strange. Very strange. And I don't know what to think yet. Very serious moment in history. The second I saw it, one, I thought of scripture, and I'm not going to cite the scripture. Two, I thought to myself, this will be used to hurt a lot of people, this event. This event is possibly a game changer. I don't even really want to use the word possibly. It is a game changer. We're on a different playing field now. Whether this was real or not real. If it wasn't real, it was done for a really nefarious purpose. If it was real, I don't even understand it. All I know is once I saw it, my jaw dropped. Once I saw an alleged assassination attempt and the man get up, I've never seen him more animated. Ever. Putting his fist in the air, yelling fight or something. The image was quite terrifying. If you know what you're looking at and what to look for. So my jaw dropped when I saw the footage for the first time last night. And again, I thought of scripture. And if you know scripture, you'll understand what I'm saying. I don't want to get into it. No one's going to see it anyway, thanks to this website and others. And then I thought, this is a game changer. It's a really horrifying moment right now. And it will be used to embolden the agenda, enable the agenda of certain people. And it's not a good agenda. Again, whether it's real or not, irrelevant as far as what I'm seeing in the future based on this event. What could possibly come of it? What it could be used to accomplish. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not with everybody else. Is it fake? Is it not? You know, who cares? That's not what scares me about it. What scares me about it is it's a game changer. It's a different field we're on now. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I see this event being used for some really bad purposes. Kind of like the Reichstag fire was. I hope I'm dead wrong. That's another thing about me, people. I've been telling you this for years, every once in a while. I don't want to be right on a lot of the stuff I talk about. I'd like to be proven wrong sometimes, because that would, how do I put this? That would mean something really bad didn't happen So why I'm saying this again is where I see this going post-event, no matter what's said about it, no matter whether it's real or not, is what scares me. I don't like where I see it going. This event yesterday, whether you realize it or not, was huge. Game changer, possibly. Turning point in history, possibly. Like the Reichstag fire was. Again, I still don't know what to think about it. Again, what I'm worried about is the aftermath. I'm already ahead of everybody else. As they were all commenting last night, fake, real, blah, 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 blah. People getting mad because others are calling it fake. People get mad because others are calling it real. I was already ahead of all that bullshit. Because I know history. And I know where events like that could lead, be they real or not. And I know what the agenda is behind the people that were the target of this assassination attempt yesterday. So I'm way ahead, and I was writing comments while people were writing fake or real. I was writing comments, yeah, this is a horrifying moment. This is going to be used to hurt a lot of people, potentially. Their perceived enemies. And they don't care if the shooter was one of them. In their minds, it was an Antifa or a fake or an FBI agent or whatever. I already see the stories coming out where they'll try and deflect from the fact that this was a white male with an AR-15, just like all the other mass shooters, or most of the mass shooters, not all of them. The cliche demographic. They're going to want to deflect from that. They'll call it fake news. They'll call it, he was Antifa in MAGA clothes. He was FBI in MAGA clothes. Whatever. They're going to make that part irrelevant to them. And they only want their team to win. They don't care about reality. We're way past the point about people caring about reality. They just want their team to win. So when their team tries to overthrow the government, they have to say Antifa did it. When their candidate gets shot at, they have to say Antifa or FBI did it. Same thing with the overthrowing the government. They have to say the FBI or Antifa, etc. It ruins their narrative. It ruins their bullshit paradigm. So this fact that he's a white male, young male with an AK-47, this will just be discarded by many people in this country and called fake, whatever. And they'll still have this attitude, or there will be this aura of blaming the liberals, blaming the liberal president, even though he's not liberal at all. He's one of the most middle-of-the-road political candidates ever. Anyway, they'll try and blame anyone because it will help their agenda. That's all. Not because they believe in anything. It's not the point. The grift is the point. Always, every day, all day for these people. Never-ending grift. Anyway, I hope I shed some light on it. I just wanted to give my opinion.